Hello everybody, welcome back to this week's Border Corner. So here we are, bath in hand. It's you can tell it's a good time of the year when I'm starting to move up to the big caged baths for the birds rather than the plastic cubes. I'm giving the birds, the youngsters, everything that's been weaned. I give the baths to every day now. We've been starting to molt out in the near future. I want to get them comfortable in the bath. So every day baths go on. I've got a cage here in the top here. It's got 3 youngsters in. This is the last 3 that I weaned. And I have a kind of a weird kind of system. The top cage is for newly weaned birds. So anything that's weaned goes straight in that top cage. When they start showing confidence, or mainly dictated to when I've got another nest ready to be weaned, I'll drop those down into the second cage down there, cage 30, and they stay in there until they start bickering. And then once they start bickering and starting to nibble each other's feathers, that's when I split them up and they go in the big lamp on the side here. So I'll just get on with that other bath and put that other bath in for that team of 4, and then we'll get on with the rest of today's video. So there we go. Just thought I'd let you have a quick look at this lot. It's quite funny. Usually, all 4 of these get in the bath at the same time. So how you all doing? Hope everybody's having a good season. There seems to be some reports, from a lot of different breeders, not just border canaries, from what I can understand, but breeders of quite a lot of different species of canary. Folks are saying they're having a difficult year. And not breeding the sort of numbers that they normally breed. So I think I'm up to 18 youngsters this year. There's a couple more sitting, so it might push over. I might even get into the 20s, but I suspect it'll be around about 18. That's where we'll finish. And most of it, thankfully, is down to this clear yellow cockbird. I bought him in January, I think it was. A really nice bird, nice and fit. Put him into my feeding regime, and he's the one that has fathered, I would say, I think it's about 14 of the chicks, and then 6 others are from 2 other cockbirds. No, that's not right. 4, 5, 6, 7 others are from 2 other cockbirds. So this clear yellow cockbird has been doing a terrific job for me. So I'm just going to run through and show you the different birds that we've bred this year, just to give you a bit of an idea of what's going on. And I also wanted to talk a little bit about Happy Bird and the UnikoFeed. As you know from a couple of videos back, Darren at Asian Supplies, he's given me some Happy Bird feeds to try, and I'm doing that. So I'm going to just do a little snapshot on that and what that looks like and how I'm integrating that into the birds. So let's get on with that. I mentioned before about giving you a quick update on Happy Bird. This is the maintenance. I should really be on breeding now for a lot of these birds. Well, it's a bit of a combination, really. All the birds that I've been using this on at the moment have been maintenance. Next year, they will all have been on the breeding version of Unico. But I came to this game a bit late this year, so I'm still on maintenance. And I've been giving the bird the same additions, supplements in drinking water that I've always done. that you'll be familiar with. So it's a gradual process of starting to wean them off of the sort of mixes that I used to give. So I'll just use one of my show cage drinkers at the moment, and what I'm doing is giving all of the youngsters some of this maintenance. As they started to molt now, some of them I'm going to probably have 2 different feeds on the go. So those birds that have started to molt, I'll start giving them some of the UnikoFeed molt. So quick close up, you can see, let's just focus that. So it's quite grainy. I'm not sure if I've shown you this already, so apologies if I have. It's quite grainy, you can see it in there. What I've been finding is a lot of the birds are just ignoring it because they're not familiar with it. So one of the things that I did, just bear with me a second, I'm just going to move the camera. As you can see in this cage here, I've got most of this hopper has got mixed canary in it, but in the right hand side there you can clearly see that I've put quite a lot of the Happy Bird UnikoFeed. So they have to work their way through the Unico to get to the mixed canary, so they're going to start picking up Unico. And by doing that, I've started to find now I've got quite a few of the birds that are some of the adult birds are going straight to the UnikoFeed. So that's exactly what I want, really. The other product that I'm using this year as well, is the UnikoFeed Green Starter. They don't seem quite as keen on this. So to try and get them to take it, what I've been doing is when I make up the egg food, my normal egg food mix, I put in a little bit of this as well, just to see if I can encourage them to take it. I am going to try the neutral coloured one as well, just in case. I can't believe it's colour specific, but I am going to try the neutral coloured one of these. And this again, it's very similar. It's a very fine powder when it comes out of the bag. So yeah, so what I do now is we put in the same amount of water, that I put in of the green starter. I put water in on top of that. And what you see is that when you put the water in, it doesn't actually mix. It doesn't actually sit in and start going into the Unico. So what I do then is just break up the surface, just give it a bit of a stir around, just so that you can get it mixed in as much as you can. Sorry, I'm not doing very well. I'm trying to do this on camera so you can see what it looks like. I'm not doing a very good job. Apologies for that. So there we go. So mix it round. And it takes about 10 to 15 minutes before that's set. So what I'll do is I'll come back and show you what that looks like when it's ready. And the other product that I've been using is Happy Bird Best Breed. This is it's a product that you give to the birds at this time of year when they're breeding. It's got all sorts of vitamins and nutrients that the birds really like and that the birds benefit from. It's great for the breeding parents and for the chicks as well. This is again, it's all the same sort of consistency as it's quite powdery. So I did miss this bit out. I should have said this before. What I do is I get the starter and I just put a little bit on the top. Now, I've measured this out. There is actually a specific amount you're supposed to put on, and I'll just post that now. I'll just put that over the top so you can see what that is. I'm not very good at this bit. This is a bit like cooking. And I'm not the best at anything like that. So anyway, so mix the best breed in as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put up a little bit of information about these products so that you can get a bit of better understanding of them. So if you're interested in that, have a look, or if you're not bothered, then obviously you can just fast forward that bit. But yeah, I'll leave that now for 15 minutes before I give it to the birds. So here you can see a good while later, we've come back to the starter and you can see it's gone, soaked up all of the moisture, and you get this consistency of food left. So what I do is just scrape this into a dish, or if I'm doing it in the morning and I'm putting it in the main food for the birds, it just goes straight into the main bowl that I mix all of their food up in. But you can see that once you've scraped it up and loosened it up, that one pot of water that we added to it, you've got a significant amount of extra volume there now. So as I say, you can either mix this with your egg food and your soft food, or that you give your birds and your youngsters, or alternatively you can just feed it independently. So egg food raw, just that's it, simple as that. And then I'm going to start trying to give this, and as I said earlier, the birds have been a bit fussy with it, but I'm going to start putting this in with the chicks now, or like the youngsters that have been weaned, and give it to them separately and see if we can get some interest in it with them from that. So I'm going to do that now. Not a bad start. A quick snippet of Avian Supply's website. As you can see, there's lots of information on here, lots of things for sale, popular products that Avian Supplies offer, and they've got a mailing list and so on and so forth. There's a good blog section on there too, and they've got a good shop. As you can see on the left-hand side here, there's lots of different categories: cage sales, nesting materials, food, supplements, etc. And it's in these food areas that we can focus on the Unico products that I've been talking about. So first up is the maintenance one here, and then the next one that we just sort of have a quick look at is reproduction or breeding. That's the one that most of the birds would be on now normally. And then obviously after that, The third one after reproduction is the molt product. So there's 3 specific times that these products are all given. And if you're not sure or anything, you can always speak to Darren at Avian Supplies and he'll help you. There's another couple of little extras as well that are worth looking at. One is the best breed supplement, which you give the birds at the same time as you're giving them reproduction part of UnikoFeed. And then to go with the molt, there is this product called Muta Excellent, and that gets added to it as well. So there's lots there. There's complete diet for all your birds. Everything that you want from your birds is available on here. And just looking at this section here, you can see on the cages, there's all sorts of things you can get. Italian cages, cage fronts, stands for your cages, everything. So Avian Supplies, great company. You've helped me out a huge amount so far. So if you're looking to get some more bird stuff, give them a whirl. I just wanted to show you these 2 guys. I just actually cleaning the birds out this morning, and I put the show cages on. So they're used to these going on. They go on quite a lot now. But as soon as the show cages go on, nearly all the birds, and these are 2 just good examples to show you, nearly all of them prefer to come out in the show cage and sit and go to sleep on the perch in the show cage. So I really like the fact that they are nice and relaxed to this degree. It makes a great deal of difference when you're training them for going in their show cages, that they're already used to spending lots of time in them. So what I do in the morning when I come in, the first thing I do is I'm preparing their egg food for the morning. I put the baths on, and they all have baths on. All the youngsters have baths on. So I can't get that one in focus now. I'll go back to this one. They all have baths on, and by the time I've got the soft food mixed up, they've all been in the bath, and I take the baths off, put show cages on, and then start the process of leaving the show cages on for these guys all day. Certainly these top 4 all clears. Whoops, sorry about that. I'm not doing very well here today. I do apologise. So these 2 here, this one in cage 10 is a lot more advanced in its molt. As you can see, it's fluffing up on the side, but this one is even more so. So these are 4 of the clears that I've bred, and I'm going to just drop down a little bit. I don't know. So this is number 5, and these guys are all from the same cock and the same hen. And then if I just swivel the camera over a little bit, this is the 6th clear that I've bred, which is from a different hen, same cock but a different hen. And this little one here has only just gone into the cage this morning, just been weaned this morning. So so I've managed to get a nice number of clears bred, which is one of my objectives this year. And I bought that clear top bird that I've already shown you. I brought him in to help me do that. So they're the clears that I've bred so far. Most of the breeding has slowed down quite a lot now. Obviously, the early start that I had this year has got me away to quite a nice number of youngsters. I've got a couple of hens sitting on egg still. So if I just zoom in here, this is that clear border hen. She's been paired with the best cockbird. She's just laid her 2nd egg. This would effectively be her 3rd round. So I don't know whether anything will come of it. The cockbird did tread her a few times, but not much, nowhere near as much as it was right at the start of the season. So I'm not sure if she'll have anything. And then down below here, we have, I don't know if you can make that out, it's not very good. She's very flighty, this 5 hen. If I get too close, she comes off straight away. So I'm not going to go any closer than that. But this 5 hen, she is sitting on 2 eggs, and they are from the other clear hen and the clear cockbird. So just to recap, if you remember, I've got 2 really nice clear hens that I bought in the year before last. They didn't breed for me at all last year, but this year they have. This one that we were looking at just now has produced 5 chicks, sorry. And the 2nd clear hen has produced me 1 chick so far. But she's this little 5 fanny sitting on another 2. So there might be something there, but as I say, the cockbird didn't seem as interested in treading, anywhere near as interested in treading as he had been earlier in the season. And then if I just move the camera around here, I've got this hen who's just peeping out of the top. She is sitting on 3 eggs. She's only had 1 round. So the cockbird trod her a few times, but not as many as I would like. So I'm not holding out a huge amount of hope, to be honest, but you never know, do you, with birds? I understand that the sperm can stay live in a canary for about 6 weeks, is it? Or 8 weeks, 2 months, something like that. I might have got that wrong. If I've got that wrong, please just tell me in the comments below. But the cockbird did tread these hens quite a lot early doors. So if there is any sperm left, and potentially these hens have utilised that, so you never know. So we'll keep our fingers crossed just in case. And then, sorry, the camera's a bit wobbly. And if I go up to the top nest up here, this is a hen that I bred last year. She's already raised 4 chicks for me. And this is her cockbird. You've been introduced to these guys before. She is sitting on 2 chicks. So I'm just going to throw in a quick little snap of those for you to see. They might actually, if those other eggs from those other 3 hens I've just shown you aren't fertile, the 2 chicks in here might actually be my last for this year. So I mentioned before about having the show cages on. The 2 birds in these 2 cages are the eldest, if you like. They were the ones that were bred first. And these 2 pairs in here, they're from the same nest, they're from the same parents. They already look slightly different compared to each other. If you look at the 4 of them, they're slightly different. There's one, the bird in cage 10, the bird in cage 12 seem to be slightly bigger than the birds in 9 and 11, and slightly more rounded in shape. But one of the things that I've been told early doors was, with boarders, wait, don't make any decisions about anything or say anything about the quality of the birds until after the molt, because they can change so drastically. So, but I had a couple of questions about show cages before, and when's the best time to put them on, and so on and so forth. I don't know if there's a strict rule. I know some people wait until after the molt before they show them to the birds. I sort of think that as soon as they've been weaned and they've got the confidence to be in a cage on their own once they've been split up from their nestmates, if you've got the space to put 1 per cage, they start investigating quite quickly anyway. So they're quite inquisitive. So once I know they're eating on their own in a single cage, then I put the show cages on them. And they regularly, they go in and out. There's some conditioned seed in the pot. And the birds go in and out quite a lot. They roost in here if they're given a chance, so I have to make sure that I remember to take them off at night, otherwise they will roost in these cages. But yeah, so show cages, they're on. I've only got 4 that aren't great nick, if you like, that I wouldn't want to use to enter the birds in a show. So I've got these 4 cages at the moment that I use, and I just rotate that. At the moment, I've got 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 10 birds that have been partitioned off into single cages. So I tend to do 4 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon, one day, and then the next day it's 2 at the bottom, and then go back up to the top and repeat that process. So they all get plenty of exposure in the show cages. So and once they are in, I do spend quite a lot of time just doing what I'm doing now, just being here, being near them, moving your hand gently in front of them, just not to frighten them, but just to get them used to some movement when they're in the cages, so that when they are in the show, this will become second nature. So, but we'll do a little bit more on show cages and training a little bit later, so in another video. So So that's where we are with these guys for now. I just thought I'd show you Albert's chicks, the aforementioned Albert. I just thought I'd show you her chicks. The reason for that is Albert is sharing the same genes as, or some of the same genes as the yellow cockbird. So I'm hoping that because of that, that might actually lead to some nice birds. So from Albert's nest, I think we had 4, I think it was, maybe 3. So let's have a look at those now. You've actually seen these before, so apologies for repeating myself. You saw these a few minutes ago. So this is one of Albert's chicks. As you can see, getting used to putting his head through the top hole. So when it changes to water, the birds just find the water quite quickly. So that's one, like variegated. And then if we go up here, cage 26. Whoops. That's the second one. And then on to cage 25. We just looked at these guys anyway in the Happy Bird starter, so sorry about that for repeating it, but that's those guys. And there's another one in here. I don't know if you can see that, just behind it, getting some food. So yeah, so there are Albert's 4, and hopefully something nice will come of those. So that's it for today's video, folks. I hope you've enjoyed watching. One thing I did want to just mention again was the border canary scheme that I talked about last year. If any breeders out there will be interested in donating a pair of borders or a pair of their youngsters to any novices that are just starting out, it'd be really good to get going. I'm worried. I've only just come into borders recently, and so many people are telling me it's a dying breed, and that it's not going to be that long before we're not going to have any specialist border shows, and they're going to become any other variety shows and so on. So, hey, I'm really new to this. I might be totally wrong. There'll be a lot of experienced fanciers that probably say this isn't right. I don't know. I can only tell you what other people are telling me. Some shows, I know last year some folks set up some shows as 5-fan border shows, and the entries of borders in those shows was down in single figures. So I want to try and do what I can to keep borders going. I say to keep borders going. I'm just such a novice at this. There are far more experienced people than me that know far, far more about borders than me. I would never suggest otherwise. But I don't want to see this breed disappear. Border canaries are why I got into canaries in the first place. My grandfather used to keep border canaries when I was a boy, 4 or 5 years old. I can remember going on holiday and going to see him and standing in his bird room with his border canaries. So I've got those memories, and I don't want to lose those. I would like some other folk to share in the enjoyment that you get from these fantastic canaries. So please give it some thought, and let's see if we can get some more people, starting out with border canaries. If you'd like some border canaries, if you'd like to go onto the scheme, I did start it last year and took some names from people, and we did manage to place some birds. Jeff, who's in Barrow, I think it's Barrow in Furness. Jeff, apologies if I'm wrong. Jeff has received 3 pairs of borders, all gifted, and he's managed to, so far he's got 3 chicks in the nest. And I do know of a chap, forgive me, I forget your name, in Ireland, who we managed to place a couple of pairs of borders with. So it did work a little bit last year, but let's see if we can do even better this year. So if you'd like to go on the register and you'd like to receive some border canaries, just drop me a note. My email, bordercorner@gmail.com. Leave a comment. Facebook, there's lots of different ways that you can leave a comment and ask me to go on the register. What I'll do is I'll clear down what I had last year, so we'll start again this year. So even if you did register last year but we didn't get to you, then please give me a shout. ideally what we want to do is put novices in touch with experienced fanciers in their region. So if I've got somebody in Scotland who's got a pair of birds, we don't ideally want to, give them to somebody who lives in Kent, because it's such a long way to get the birds from and to. So we're trying to do it regionally. So breeders, please come forward and donate some birds. And novices out there, please come forward and say that you like some. Let's get this scheme going and keep it running. I think that's about it for this week's video. As you can tell, I think I'm repeating myself a little bit. It seems funny because it seems to be a shorter video, but coming to the end of my breeding season, so there's not such a lot going on now. So we'll slowly start transitioning out of breeding and into the molt. I'll do lots of videos as we go through the molt and that, as well as then we move into show season later in the year. So in the meantime, keep going with your birds. I hope you continued luck. Those of you that haven't done so well to start with, I hope you have a good late run. And in the meantime, I'll see you on the next one. Keep on birding. Bye for now.